Finally, something to discuss and talk about here, boys and girls. Welcome. Little free agency frenzy, more like free agency snooze fest. Look, I'm a little under the weather, so the energy's low, but the content doesn't stop. And we finally made some signings. We've signed some free agents, folks, all in the defense so far. Now, I woke up 10 a.m. East, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, flipped it on, and the first thing I hear is Chris Godwin, and I'm like, let's go, baby. And he goes back to the Bucs, which is super unfortunate. Milton Williams doesn't come back, or doesn't go to the Raiders. Josh Sweat doesn't go to the Raiders. I will say, though, the Milton Williams thing didn't hurt me as much, knowing that they re-signed Adam Butler to a 3-year deal, I believe, yesterday at the time of this recording. Moehrig, Hobbs, and Spillane are all gone. I would have bet some money that wouldn't have happened. I really thought Spillane was going to come back. I thought Hobbs and Moehrig, the writing was on the wall there. They were both going to leave. I really thought Spillane was going to come back. But look, we've got some options out there at linebacker. The big thing to discuss here is Jeremy Chinn, who's going to be Tre'von Moehrig's replacement alongside Isaiah Pola-Mao, and Malcolm Koonce. Malcolm Koonce signs a 1-year prove-it deal worth $12 million to re-team with Wilkins and Max Crosby. And Jeremy Chinn, I didn't know much about him, but from the research that I've done and from the – actually, let me get Koonce up here too. From the research that I've done and from the Commanders fans that I know that I've discussed, they've kind of described him as a poor man's Derwin James. He hits a lot. He's like 6'4". Tre'von Moehrig was only 6'1". So you've got Isaiah Pola-Mao back there to cover people, and then you've got Jeremy Chinn out there to put it on the chin, if you know what I'm saying. He costs about half the price of Tre'von Moehrig and seems to be around the same level of player. Some say he's a little better, some say he's a little worse. All that to say, John Spytek, that was a great move in my opinion, because as much as you would have liked to have kept Tre'von Moehrig, the idea that you can get someone as good as him that does a little bit more tackling-wise that is half the cost really helps. Getting Malcolm Koonce back is massive too. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought somebody would overpay for him and get a big contract, but this regime has showing that they're going to be aggressive when they need to be, but try to bring back the guys that are at the most important positions. And I've been saying this for a while now. If you think back to the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, which was probably their best player, right? 5th-round pick. Pete Carroll has shown an ability to get safeties and corners and squeeze every ounce of talent out of them, not drafting them high in the draft or signing them the big contracts. But he's also made sure that the defensive line, which is probably the most important part of the defense, has been shored up for the Raiders more than anything else. So I thought Nate Hobbs and Moehrig were going to go because they were going to be able to find people that are cheaper than them or people later in the draft that could take their spots. And you have to understand, people want to be signing all these different free agents, right? We are going to get additions to this defense just by getting healthy, right? Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins and Malcolm Koonce, all three of these guys missed a bulk of the season. And we were still a top 15 defense. So yes, while I would have liked to try to keep Spillane and Moehrig, I didn't really care. Hobbs, he gets hurt too much. I understand playing it strategically to let Moehrig go to get Jeremy Chinn, who is, again, just as good as him, maybe a little less good at covering but better at tackling, for half the price. Malcolm Koonce, 1-year deal. You've got a chance now, Malcolm. If you stay healthy, you're alongside Max Crosby and Wilkins and Butler. This defensive line is basically shored up. We'd like to get a little more depth, and I'm sure we'll do that in the draft. Mason Graham is still not out of the question. Adam Butler's good, not great. Wilkins, we know he can be great. He just needs to stay healthy. We need to shore up the depth of that line. But as of right now, things are kind of going how I thought they would. I thought we would have a real chance at Chris Godwin. Apparently, he turned down like $20 million from a couple teams to stay with Tampa Bay. Nothing you can do there. You can only offer him so much money. So I would like to address the wide receiver position in the draft, or not in the draft. Oh yeah, sure, in the draft, but in free agency. If Cooper Kupp is super cheap, throw a flyer deal out there. The more weapons Geno has, the better. I don't know if we're going to go after a Najee Harris. I've heard rumblings that we might be interested in him. And I expect us to get another linebacker, whether that's resigning Divine Diablo or getting Dre Greenlaw. There's also been talk of Byron Murphy. So there's a lot of great players still out there. And I would just say stay the course. Obviously, these first few hours, when you don't do things, as quickly as maybe we would hope, there starts to be a little bit of panic. This happens every single season. But by the end of free agency, we always come back to the beginning and go, you know what? Pretty good, pretty good. So right now, not much else to say. I'm happy that we re-signed Malcolm Koonce. I'm happy that he got his money. He's making more money now than he ever would have been before as like a third-round pick. Jeremy Chin is a nice replacement for Tre'von Moehrig. Let's go get another linebacker. Let's go get another wideout, Stephon Diggs. I wouldn't love that. Amari Cooper, that's interesting, but I think my number one choice would be Cooper Kupp if it doesn't cost too much money. I wouldn't give him that Devontae Adams deal. Apparently, Geno Smith is going to be in the building soon. I'm just pulling up my patrons here so I could read that to you. And by the way, if you are not yet subscribed, about 46% of you that have watched these videos are not yet subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 13,000. And a Patreon link is in the description below. You could sign up. It's like a YouTube membership program, but instead of YouTube taking 30% from you guys, Patreon only takes 5%. So sign up with that. Link is in the description below. Let me read all these patrons here. For the $5 tier, you become an executive producer. You get videos in advance, days in advance, and you get your name read at the end of the credits. Raider Rod, Emac Hiss the Guy, Triple, Austin Newland, Broadway Scott, Lindsay, Admiral Tonic, Mark McBride, Darlene McBride, The Drewster 100, Melissa Laborde, Raider Wolf, Brian M, Mark V, Half Black, Zach, Devin Outfleet, TV Diz 1215, Robert Mario O, Donuts Duncan, Raider Jeff, Raider Rico 26, Pack That Ball, Green 12, OB, Isaac, and Christopher Ramos if you want your name read and all that other good stuff. Link is in the description below. I will be back here making another video for everybody when we make another signing or trade or do something crazy. Hit that like button. It does help tremendously. Some exciting things coming up for you guys with this channel in particular. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after on the charts to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.